Do Paladins turn undead in Tides of Torment? Well, with swords and lances perhaps. Now that we've looked at the Fallen Ghostly one-shot version, let's take a good look at the proper Paladins from proper Bretonnia, serving King and Faith. I'm sure the Faith part is somewhat more consistent. You know, feudal warfare. Recruited for 1,000 gold and 250 upkeep, on Ultra they come with 3,688 health, or what we'd expect from a melee hero, on foot. Armor 85, and shields blocking 35% of small arms fire from the front isn't shabby. Missile resistance 15% is standard. Leadership 65 is okay enough. Speed 34 and charge speed 41 are the best we could hope for on foot. That will change. Melee attack begins at 45, a somewhat decent figure with attack interval 4 seconds. Medium splash target size, so questing knights on down, and max targets damaged in this manner of 4. Melee defense 40 isn't the worst. Weapon strength 390 is split base 255 and armor piercing 135. This tells us the Paladin starts a lot better at slicing up a witch hunter than Grimgore. He comes equipped with a bonus versus large of 20, which greatly helps his melee attack and somewhat helps his weapon strength, relatively speaking. Charge bonus is 40 and mass is 600. The Paladin counts as a knight, has Encourage Aura, Hide in Forest, Blessing of the Lady for 15% ward save, and Guardian, which means friendly lords and heroes in 35 meters or less of him get plus 15% physical resistance. You know, that stuff that eliminates 15% of all damage unless it's magical? Yes, that. On a Barded Warhorse, upkeep goes up to 300. Health up to 4,176, armor to 105. Speed rises to 84, charge speed to 108. Let's see what else changed. Charge bonus 70, and mass 1500. In case you wondered, I wasn't seeing charge defense versus large, etc. on foot. On a Royal Pegasus, upkeep soars to 337, health is 4,464, armor back down to normal. Speed 105 and charge speed 108, expect reductions in speed when on the ground. Charge bonus inches up to 85 and mass is 1500. And the mass for Pegasus heroes got jacked up not that long ago, it helps. Traits, trade Hide in Forest for flight. As an embedded hero, the Paladin brings training, so increased percentage of experience points gained in the midst of battle. Spread control bolsters order in your lands. Assault garrison, assassinate, and assault units is the holy trinity of always useful and damaging to the enemy agent actions, and specialist reduces the cost of these excellent actions. At rank 8, 1 pip in Lady's Mantle gets him plus 10% missile resistance. For the combat line, because this is not a reworked race, Blade Master for 1 pip coughs up plus 5 melee attack, devastating charge is plus 30, charge bonus flat at 3 pips, full plate armor plus 15 armor at 3, hard to hit plus 12 melee defense at 3, deadly blade plus 12 melee attack at 3. Foe Seeker is the midway pip for even more speed and charge speed and less fatigue. The charge speed thing wasn't included until relatively recently. Funnily enough. Woundmaker plus 20% weapon strength at 3. Scarred Veteran plus 15% health at 3. Indomitable plus 12 leadership at 3. Blade Shield plus 12 melee defense at 3 to shore up that even more. And Colossal Strike at the end for a bonus of plus 16 bonus versus large and 25% more melee attack generally for 32 seconds duration, 90 seconds cooldown. So, how do we use the Paladin? Here's the rub. I've had these come at me so many times, there are things to say. The Paladin is, beyond any value he has doing damage to a force, a disruption hero without peer, particularly once he gets on the Pegasus. He can get into the backlines and cause massive havoc, gank characters without heavy armor, put some real damage into slobbering beasts, but more to the point, he's annoying to fight and root out of your backline, and he buys all kinds of time for other shenanigans, like magic, Pegasus Knights, any other knight unit sneaking in back like a D&D thief, and so on. In fact, you can just plain charge him into a group of armored knights in the open field, and the armor might make his damage less efficient, but just his being there to break them up and make them have a hard time moving around and charging sets them up for whatever the 2 in the 1-2 punch was going to be. It's these tactical uses that make the Paladin extremely valuable. What we gained going into Tides of Torment was access to far more potential items with which to raise his game further. This and the magical synergies means he has a lot to offer the cunning and wise general, and he might get a rework someday too. Take care, and have fun ruining an artillery battery's day. Had it happened to me enough times to respect this hero, especially in hunting packs of them.